you're going to be asked to find solubility at various temperatures. So here's an example. This is 8 grams of sulfur dioxide gas dissolved in 100 grams of water at 20 degrees Celsius, a saturated, unsaturated, or supersaturated solution. So we're going to go to that chart and we're going to find SO2 at 20 degrees. So let me write this down. So SO2 at 20 degrees Celsius. First thing I need to know is what is the solubility. And I'm going to express that in, remember, per 100 grams of water, and what relationship is 8 grams per 100 grams of water in relation to the maximum solubility. And remember, when they say solubility, we're actually looking at saturation, or saturated. Okay, so we're going to go to that chart. Here's the chart, here's the SO2. We go to 20 degrees, and you notice that it looks like it might be either right on the 10 or slightly above the 10, so I'll say 10 or 11 grams per 100 grams of water. So the SO2 at 20 degrees is going to be 10 or 11 grams per 100 grams of water. So if this number were 10 or 11, we'd say, yeah, this is probably going to be a saturated solution. But it's less than that. Since 8 grams is less than 10 or 11 grams, therefore, this is considered an unsaturated solution. Pretty simple. Okay? If it's above that, it's supersaturated. If it's below that, it's unsaturated. If it's right on the money, it is saturated. That's what we're looking for that. Okay? Now, next one, it says, what is the maximum amount of sodium nitrate that can be dissolved in 300 grams of water at 50 degrees Celsius? So maximum amount of water, or maximum amount of sodium nitrate that can be dissolved in 300 grams of water at 50 degrees Celsius. So let's get that information written down. So 50 degrees for NaNO3. And I want to know what is the solubility. I need to find that first, and then I need to know is how many grams for 300 grams of water. In other words, how many grams are going to be dissolved? Dissolved NaNO3 for 300 grams of water instead of 100 grams. Okay, so we're going to go to the chart. We're going to find NaNO3 at 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's do that. Find NaNO3. Here's NaNO3. Here's 50 right here. Goes all the way up right there. And that looks like it's pretty much at the halfway point. And so maybe a little bit below, I'll say 114, 115 grams per 100 grams of water. Sodium nitrate, as you can see, is extremely soluble. That it takes, you have more mass or more quantity of water, mass of water than the mass or mass of the solute than the mass of the water is. That's how extremely soluble it is. All right, so that means that I'm going to put down 114 grams per 100 grams of water. You could say 115. I'll put 115 down there and do both of them. Either way is fine. You know, we try to give a little leeway on this. When you do this on the test, there will be a 1 gram leeway up or below the value that I established for myself. Okay, but now the question here is, how many grams of sodium nitrate is going to dissolve in 300 grams of water? And you may be able to figure this out just without doing any math on paper, but I still want you to show where this answer came from. And this is how I want you to do it. So we're going to take 114 grams per, 114 grams of NaNO3 per 100 grams of water equals X over 300 grams of water. So we're going to make a little proportion out of this. And if you remember from your proportion work in middle school, we cross multiply this, and we've done this a bajillion times in Chem 1. So this is going to give you 114 grams of NaNO3 times 300 grams of water equals 100 grams of water times X. And like any good algebra student knows, you have to get rid of the number that's multiplying the X here to figure out what X is. So we divide both sides by that 100 grams of water. And I'm going to put it directly under the 300 grams of water so I can essentially see that this is going to cancel fairly quickly. And if I take 114 times 300 and divide by 100, my value of X turns out to be 342 grams of sodium nitrate. And that tells us that we will need that many grams of sodium nitrate to get an absolute 100% saturated solution. Okay? So that's what this assignment entails. So you've got basically these problems here, and it says how many grams of HCl will dissolve in 200 grams, blah, blah, blah. And actually there's a fifth one on this. This got cut off, so I'm going to have to do a little cutting and snipping, but you'll get all 5 problems for this. So, then we have 4. We have 4 of this. The first 4 asks you for determining if it's saturated substrate. I forgot I did that. So there's actually 8 problems for all practical purposes, but they're real simple problems. Okay, it won't take you that much time at all. So, you should be ready to go on that. So have fun.